Yo, what's good, everybody? It's your boy 005 Dynasty. I'm back with another video. I'm still looking like Teen Wolf, man. I still have not gotten the chance to cut my hair, so I do apologize about my scruffiness, okay? The females like it, though. They be like, oh, I like that scruff. Anyway, we're not going to go there. This is your boy 005 Dynasty. We're going to continue talking about the MPC sample, right? But not the MPC sample in general, not the Akai MPC sample in general. We're going to talk about Akai, the company. Now, I don't know the inner workings. I don't know the ups, the downs. I don't know the turmoil. I don't know all that. Only the people who actually worked there, who owned it, CEOs, CFOs, execs, people, supervisors, engineers, all these people that get hired that work for them, they know about the inner workings of the company. So I'm not going to sit here and try to act like I know about everything that happens in the company. So my videos are about context and historical points, my points of view, or my life, things that I went through. And what I try to do is give you an example of what I feel is going on, or what I understand that is happening from my perspective, from things that I've gone through in my life. You understand? Okay, you still with me? Understand this now. I worked at one of the most prestigious after-school programs and summer programs to date, the Boys and Girls Club of America, but it was the Hempstead, Long Island, New York branch, right? So it was the Boys and Girls Club from Hempstead, New York, right? This branch was one of the best because of its leaders. And the original leaders, not the people who came after. So the original leaders had the mindset and the heart to build an organization that thrived in the community, which changed the overall mindset of the individuals who were in the community, starting with the youth and going up into early adulthood, and then even the adults. You understand? Okay, guys? So when I joined the very first year. It started 1997, right? I was young. Very, very young man. But when I joined in 1997, we had a team of like 50 people sitting in a gym going through all this training and talking and stuff like that. And the guy named, rest in peace, was Mr. Eugene Kidd. He told us we're going to set out on this journey, but if you don't think you could hang with what's happening, get off the bus. He will always tell people, get off the bus. If you don't think you can hang with the journey, get off the bus. But if you think you can hang, let's go. We're gonna rock and roll. He set out on a mission to make the best program, and he did it. He had the best staff members. He had ultimately the best core foundation and mission that ultimately overtook all the negativity in the hood and was and basically branched out into success stories such as performing arts and dance and theater and sports, recreation. These kids, I remember one of the first times that he spoke to us, he said, we're going on field trips. He said, some of these kids have never been outside of their own hood. He says, some of you guys have never been out of your own hood. And it hit people, man. It hit people to the fact of the reality of their life was being compressed like a compressor, man. You know what I'm saying? Like the reality of their life was basically, they never even experienced life yet. Even the adults. So even some field trips that the kids went on, the adults, that was their first time going on that field trip as well. Anyway, we wound up building the program up to being so prestigious that every other after-school program or summer program like ours, whether they had a building or not, whether they was working in a church, working in a school, working in their own building, they came to know and understand we were at the top of the food chain. We were prestigious because the way we move, the way we operate. You know how you see a group of kids walking in the street with their teachers or whatever, or somebody, and the kids are rowdy, our children were like soldiers, man. You understand? And we're walking with a whole camp to the pool. We're walking on a trip. Doesn't matter where it was at. It could have been at you know what I'm saying, Great Adventures. Doesn't matter. Bear Mountain. Doesn't matter. People were coming to us and saying, wow, the way you have these children walking is flawless, man. There's nobody acting up. Not one kid. Not one. Yo, our programs, our dance program, we won every competition. No, from 1997 going to, I want to say 2007, at least 2007, we held every competition, every talent show. We was winning everything because we had these people on point, man. Everybody. So we built up this whole prestigious like aura around the Hempstead Boys and Girls Club, to the point where everybody knew about us and everybody wanted to sign up or come and work for us. Then the turmoil started. The people who was in charge that really understood how to really do things, they got into it with the board. So ultimately, the board wound up letting these people go because the board was greedy for money. So peep game, guys. They try to say that the people at the top were garnishing money. Meanwhile, there was proof of receipts and checks of them using the money on the children, on the trips, and instead of buying coach buses, not the yellow buses. So what happened was these greedy people didn't want the money to be spent on the children. They wanted the money to go into their pockets. But the money was being spent on expensive things for the children to give them that experience as if they are worth it. Because they were worth it. Doesn't matter if they're black or brown, they're still worth that every penny. Their life is worth it. Their experiences is worth it. Teaching them how life really should be, not just being in the hood, teaching how they should be able to indulge on some good food at a good restaurant and take them to that next level. So ultimately, when they let go of the leadership that really cared, they brought in leadership that they knew that wanted to service them. Primarily, the leadership was like part of one person from the board, actually. So the infrastructure changed. The people that they hired at that point in time were people who were just looking for a job, not people who actually cared. People who didn't really buy into the system. Because they was never going to buy into the system because you didn't have the right infrastructure running the system to actually nurture them into the system. Ultimately, I wanted to leave it too because I couldn't take it anymore. You know, sometimes you get to your breaking point. Why do I bring up this story? I bring up the story because you have to understand the infrastructure and who you're buying from, and also you can't get tricked off of a company's history, and that's what everybody's doing today in 2026. They're getting tricked by Akai's aura, their mystique, their history, what they used to be. It's not what they are now, guys. They could jazz up any machine they want and make it look exactly like, make a replica of the past. But you can't bring the past back. You can't bring the people who originally created the Akai MPC back. You can't bring the passion that they had in developing this company back then. You can't bring it back, man. You cannot bring the passion from the workers who worked in those factories, you know what I'm saying, that built the chips and the boards and all the stuff, the circuitry from those machines, who cared about sound and really cared about what they were doing. You can't bring that back. Now what you have is mass production and marketing and promotion to sell. Now, why do I bring this up, guys? Because I'm getting to another point. And I hope you're still with me, because these people are not going to tell you this because they can't tell you because they didn't live the life that I lived. I'm the only person that can tell you this information right now. Let me turn the car off and stuff. This point right here is going to be the kicker for you. So after I left the Boys and Girls Club, that's when I started to do things. Like I started to at that time when I left, I went to a different job. So I was working at CVS. I was doing different things, right? And then I was like, I had the urge to go back into youth development. So I said, let me go back into youth development, man. Let me go try. So I went back to Hempstead. I wasn't living in Hempstead anymore, but I went back to Hempstead because I'm figured that the people out there still need a real leader to help. So I started going to these different organizations that I knew of when I was really, you know what I'm saying, going through it with the Boys and Girls Club. Like, we was really rocking out. I could see these organizations at the parks and stuff like that. They would be there. They'd be on the same trips as us, you know? So I go and I sit down with this one place, right? And I'm in the interview process. And I remember, man, this is the one thing that stuck out to me, man. The person was like, oh, you from the Hempstead Boys and Girls Club? Oh, you done this there? My resume was crazy. You did this, you did this. And I remember they asked me the one question, like, they was like, so why would you leave the Boys and Girls Club? Because they're known for this, man. That's a pretty big program. This is exactly what they said. That's a pretty big program. Why would you want to come work at this smaller program? Because they were a smaller program. The Boys and Girls Club, huge, right? But they were tapering on their way out. And I gave them an honest answer. And that's the thing, guys. This is what I'm trying to tell you. The honesty is the best policy, but it could also be the worst policy because the world we live in. Nobody wants honesty. Everybody wants a fake story told to them. They want to feel good about something. They want their inner workings, their emotions to feel good about what you're saying to them. So if you give them the truth, they can't handle the truth. And I told them, the inner workings of the Hempstead Boys and Girls Club is not what it used to be. It drastically changed. Honesty. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, I moved on. But since I moved on and I went to do this, I still have an urge to help the community. That's why I came back to Hempstead to apply for this job. I didn't throw anybody under the bus. I just said the inner workings just changed. Leadership changed. The direction changed. That, to me, is the most honest answer you could give somebody. But maybe they wanted me to lie or fabricate something. But when I gave them the honesty, they didn't hire me. I mean, thank God, because I'm saying that program's not there anymore anyway. I'd have wasted my time. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't have built a career there. But do you understand what I'm saying, guys? People will learn of a company's mystique and aura, and this whole thing that got wrapped around it. They're prestigious. They're the best. They was winning all the competitions. And they'll hang on to that in their mind for the rest of their life. They will never think, oh, they could crumble and fall, or the inner workings might change. Maybe they're not the same prestigious company anymore. And that right there will hold people back because you're always looking up to this company. Meanwhile, it's not the same company. And meanwhile, that smaller program could have progressed better than the Boys and Girls Club because the Boys and Girls Club been lost that leadership that held them at the top. They've been let them go years before that. So this company, so maybe like, I want to say maybe like 3 or 4 years before I even tried to apply for that company, that leadership was already gone. So people could have literally, guys, hear me out. People could have literally, companies around the area could have been, if they would just picked up their, you know what I'm saying, tied up their bootstraps and just got busy, they could have flew past the Hempstead Boys and Girls Club. But they didn't know that we were cracking from the inside, because mentally they're just thinking we're the best. The same way you people think that Akai's the best. I got to always depend on a new product to come out instead of developing my own company and developing my own product. You're waiting for them every single time they drop a product. You get it, you buy it, you play with it for a little bit, you make a couple YouTube videos for like maybe a year, and then you wait for a new product, and then you get hyped about music again. You can't even get hyped about music on your own terms. You only hype when they come out with a new product. Then you give 1,000 reasons as to why you're going to get it. And you give 1,000 reasons why you still love this company that has been folded over and cracked from the inside. Ben did that. It's not the same company. It's not the same inner workings in these devices. It's not the same circuitry that you think it is. It's mostly just plastic and a little bit of metal for the electricity they got running inside there. You know what I'm saying? You don't want your house to go up in flames. You get what I'm saying? So, but think about it, guys. So this company is basically living off of their mystique from the past. And they're winning because you guys will never ever see that you could be as great or even bigger and better than the company Akai that just makes sampling groovebox drum machines. Think about that. Think about that, man. The same way that company was so in awe when they were interviewing me about the Hempstead Boys and Girls Club, and they pretty much the interview pretty much was they was really trying to figure out what was happening inside of the company. That's what the interview was. They didn't care about me. They didn't care about me wanting to come and help the people in the community. The same way you guys don't care about the way I'm trying to help people on YouTube, or at least pass along the information to wake up your mind and stop allowing content creators to clog up your mental real estate. You guys don't even care yourself. So the companies are pathetic. You guys are pathetic. Content creators are pathetic. It's all just a bunch of pathetic BS. And that's why you guys are just going to be staying in this copy and clone generation, working in a figure eight in a loop and doing the same thing over and over again until you pass on and you're in the grave and you're no longer. You're not going to be successful. You're not going to build a legacy for yourself. You're not going to be remembered in history. After this next 100 years, all of us are going to be gone, and I guarantee you'll still be able to search me up. What are you living for? You just living to die? That's what you're just living to die. You're not even living to. The only thing you have is your name after this. So where's your name going to stand in the history books? You know how many people have passed away already on this earth? So many people is bananas. You don't even know the number, but how many people are still being mentioned and being utilized in history and cited and so forth and so forth? I guarantee you, I'm going to be a person that has history, because I'm not allowing myself to fall for the mystique of a company. I'm not allowing myself to just bend the knee to the companies. I'm building my own. You could literally Google search it right now. You understand, guys? So, a company's mystique is only the surface. It's literally only the surface. Do you really understand the inner workings of what's happening right now? Do you know what you're really purchasing right now? Do you know what's in the devices that you're purchasing right now? Do you know anything? Or you just living? Who's the CEO? Who are the people that work at these companies? Who is everything? Do you even ask the who, the what, the when, the where, the why? Or do you just see, oh, the guy dropped a new product and you get like a little dog? This your boy 05 Dynasty. Don't forget to Google me. Catch you guys on the next one, man. Crazy.